David Ortiz wrote one of the most unforgettable chapters in baseball history during his time with the Red Sox. And who could have seen that coming in 2003 when Boston picked him up after a little recruiting job from Pedro Martinez? How about a career to the tune of 3 World Series titles, a World Series MVP, countless clutch hits along the way, the Red Sox single-season home run record, and plenty of productive seasons at the plate as one of the best hitters in baseball. In 2013, Ortiz really started to find a new gear. He came back from an Achilles injury in 2012, took a Red Sox team from worst to first in the American League East, and put on an unforgettable performance in the World Series where the St. Louis Cardinals could not get him out, en route to his World Series MVP award. The next 2 years got interesting for Boston. The Red Sox missed the playoffs in each of those 2 seasons, and Ortiz had to take on an even bigger leadership role. He continued to hit like one of the best bats in baseball, but he also had to show a whole new wave of young talent the way, and big names such as Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Andrew Benintendi, just to name a few, over the next few seasons. Going into 2016, Ortiz had announced that it was finally time to wrap up what would eventually be a Hall of Fame career. He knew that 2016 would be his last ride, but he certainly did not play like somebody who was slowing down anytime soon. His 2016 season is undoubtedly one of, if not the greatest finale season for any player in baseball history. He continued to swing like only he could and put together a season to remember, leading baseball in doubles, RBIs, slugging, and OPS. All those stats to lead Major League Baseball is a pretty good way to end a career like Ortiz did, especially when you look at the context of some other notable names who ended their career on a high note. You go back in time, it really comes to mind in the minds of Sandy Koufax, who had an unbelievable ending, even some career highs for the Dodgers, and Ted Williams truly looked like the hitter he was when he officially hung up his cleats. Look at Ortiz now in the more modern era. Some of the greatest hitters, and as we've mentioned, the most prolific hitters of his era, Ortiz still managed to outpace them as they brought their careers to a close as well. That's not to mention some really cool moments along the way, from a home run on opening day in Cleveland to absolutely taking over an afternoon at Fenway to almost single-handedly beat the Houston Astros in one of the highlight games of his season. He helped the Red Sox come out of those growing pains and playoff absences when Boston clinched its first American League East title since the championship season in 2013. The Red Sox won 93 games in Ortiz's final season, and he continued to show, even at age 40, why he was one of the most prolific hitters of his generation. Now that's a great season to go out on for a guy who eventually went into the Hall of Fame, except for one little thing. The Red Sox did not win a single playoff game that year and were swept at the hands of the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians, who eventually went on to win the American League pennant and set up a showcase World Series for the ages in a 7-game classic with the Chicago Cubs. So, with a little time travel back into MLB The Show 16, let's go back into those playoffs and see how much farther we can take Ortiz and the Red Sox. So we have the bracket from 2016 set up, the exact way it was back in that October. So the Red Sox will start with the American League Division Series against Cleveland once again. It's hard to simulate right to Ortiz's at-bats, but that's what we're going to play. We're not going to pitch. I'm not going to show as many at-bats otherwise. The goal is to really just play this through Ortiz and see how much farther we can take Boston in this round. Also, the other thing, because we are playing this now on PS5, an old PS4 game, the rosters are right where they were at the start of the opening day level. So you may see Pablo Sandoval and some other weird Red Sox on this level, but just trying to get the teams as best we could for what was an awesome 2016 postseason, remember? But hopefully in this round, in this new imagining of 2016, it goes a little bit deeper for the Red Sox. Also, the other thing, because we are playing this now on PS5, an old PS4 game, the rosters are right where they were at the start of the opening day level. So you may see Pablo Sandoval and some other weird Red Sox on this level, but just trying to get the teams as best we could for what was an awesome 2016 postseason, remember? But hopefully in this round, in this new imagining of 2016, it goes a little bit deeper for the Red Sox. So here we go, Game 1, back at Progressive Field, Red Sox, Cleveland, 2 American League division winning teams from that 2016 year. This time around, let's see how it goes for the Red Sox. All right, first Ortiz at bat, nobody on, 2 outs, first inning. This one spat out Corey Kluber at us. He obviously started game 2 of that series, but let's see how this first at bat for Ortiz goes. First pitch. Oh, got a fastball, but foul. Fly ball center field might get down. That one's still going and off the wall. Ortiz again only has one speed, so this double's going to be close, and he got in there. All right, pretty good start. Leadoff double. We'll simulate a little bit. Game 1, second at bat for Ortiz. Doubled in the first inning. Nobody on, 2 out once again. Oh, terrible swing. That's on me, though. Not on Ortiz. Brings Ortiz up. This time with a man on first. Pedroia a leadoff single. So see if Ortiz can do some damage here. Oh! This is the same thing you've seen in other videos. I have to sit back on pitches. I'm way too in front. Base hit. Pedroia potentially go first to third. And he will. All right, so 2 for 3 with Ortiz so far. That's a much different tune than the real-life 2016 ALDS. See how the rest of the simulation goes the next few innings. All right, top of the 7th, got some runs, still down 6-3. Once again, nobody on, 2 out for Ortiz. Corey Kluber still in 103 pitches. Back up the middle. That was a pitch to hit, too, and rolled it over. And a ground out. So 2 for 4 so far, down 3 runs in Game 1. So Game 1 ends, Cleveland wins 7-4. Ortiz was on deck in the 9th inning. Had another run added on in the 9th inning on a Mookie Betts home run, but the same way it started in real life, Cleveland takes Game 1 at Progressive. See how Ortiz and the Red Sox do in Game 2. All right, first at bat for Ortiz, Game 2, same way it started in Game 1. Nobody out, 2 on. Just kidding. Nobody on, 2 out. That's tough. Fly ball to center. Keep tracking. No, he's got it. So first inning fly out. Nothing there. Similarly to Ortiz's next area at bat. Top 4, no score. Second at bat for Ortiz flew up to center in the first inning. Ground ball way into the Kevin Wells. And so 0 for 2 so far for Ortiz in Game 2, but still no score. We'll keep going. Top 6, Red Sox are up 2-0. 1 out, nobody on for Ortiz. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Fastball up.
And a fastball to start things out here. Not close. It's a really nice ball game to this
back. This shift is killing me. Thank goodness there's no shift in baseball anymore. Ortiz is 0 for 3 tonight, but the Red Sox do lead. Red Sox do win Game 2, 5-1 the final. Really good start from David Price. We missed one Ortiz at bat just in the late simulation. He did walk, but now series tied 1-1. Game 3 back at Fenway Park. Let's do it. In real life, Cleveland swept the series in 3 games. It ended at Fenway Park. At least for Game 3, we know that won't happen here, but a big game in the series. At Game 3 back at Fenway, Ortiz's first at-bat, nobody on, 2 outs. He's 2 for 7 so far in the series. Be a great time to get started at Fenway. Yeah, Lindor got there. All right, ground out to end the first inning. Bottom 5, 2 outs, same situation, still a 1-run lead. Here we go. Got one. Was it under it? Keep going. Ortiz has got one. Solo shot. Finally gets the pitch right. Ortiz delivers. Didn't really have that big hit in the real life 16 ALDS. A big one here for an insurance solo home run. Another postseason home run for Ortiz here. 4-2 Red Sox in Game 3. 401 feet to right field. Got a fastball. Thought I got a little bit underneath it, but did not miss it.
Position possible. 2 outs, bases empty. That doesn't mean he's still not going to make you pay. He just unloads here for a long home run, but it was just a solo shot.
Pedroia a 2-out double in the 7th. Now a tied game at 4. Another big spot for Ortiz. Oh, struck out on a changeup. That's on me. That could have been a huge spot. That could have been the moment of this video. That's on me. All right, Red Sox are trailing in extras 6-4. Nobody on, 2 out. Ortiz has to keep it going. Line drive to center field. All right, base hit. So not done yet. Another single. All right, so the Red Sox do fall 6-4 in extra innings in Game 3. Down 2-1 in the series. Had that big spot with Ortiz in the 7th. Struck out on a changeup. So now a big game for tomorrow at Fenway Park. 4 for 12 in the series. First at bat, game 4. Nobody on, 2 outs for Ortiz against Trevor Bauer. I waited on a curveball. That was a bad swing. Ortiz flies out shallow left. No score in the first. Fly out for first from Ortiz. That was entirely my fault. Red Sox already up 2-0. Mookie Betts just had an RBI single. Bottom 3, 1 out, 1 on against Bauer. Oh, right to Napoli. 1 and double play. Hit that one hard, but right into a first base spot for Napoli. 3-6-3. All right, big win for the Red Sox in Game 4. Eduardo Rodriguez went pretty deep into this game. Dustin Pedroia had a big home run. He drove in 3. Missed the last couple of Ortiz at-bats. I had a bad day just trying to guess the simming of this. Walked in his last at-bat. But isn't this already fun? 2-2 going back to Cleveland. Game 5. This is why we're doing this video. Game 5 coming up. All right, nobody on, 2 outs. Ortiz 4 for 15 in this series. Nobody on, 2 out, game 5. This is why we're playing. This is why we're having fun. Kind of got under that. Still carrying to left, but Davis is there. They just had an 8-run 5th inning. What happened? Okay, quick timeout in this video. It was 7-0 the last Ortiz at-bat. I simmed forward 2 innings to only come back and see that the Red Sox are now winning 8-7. There was an 8-run 5th inning. And of course, with my sim luck, guess what happened to that inning? A David Ortiz grand slam that makes all of the difference in a huge frame for the Red Sox. So what seemed like maybe an end of the series, this video is far from over, apparently. All right, first at-bat for Ortiz since that grand slam that wasn't even sure that happened. 8-7, top 7. 1 out, nobody on. That one I got for myself. That is way out of here. Hanging curveball. See you later. I have a game 5 David Ortiz. Is this Troy O'Leary in Cleveland in 1999? Couple home runs and a grand slam. What a night for Ortiz and what a swing. Not a homer, but that's going to get by. Chisenhall dove for it, didn't get it. So Ortiz a double, and another run's going to score. Have a game 5 David Ortiz, another big hit. Wow. All right, that'll do it. The Red Sox end up winning this series in 5 games. A crazy game 5 at Progressive Field. I thought this video was going to be over. After it was 7-0. I simmed the 5th inning, and then all this crazy stuff happens. The Ortiz grand slam. Look at his numbers in Game 5. 3 hits, 6 runs batted in, 2 home runs. What a game. Just continue to add to the legacy. That made the whole video worth it. To the Red Sox, to the ALCS in 2016. All right, here we go. Welcome to the American League Championship Series, the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. Remember, David Ortiz's home finale in the regular season was against Toronto. Now, just a few weeks later, time for the division rivals to meet in the American League Championship Series. All right, Ortiz, first at-bat of the ALCS, facing Marcus Stroman, Fenway Park, Game 1. Oh, curveball got it, but way foul. Ortiz, ground ball to first. All right, 1-2-3 first inning. All right, so I've been bad again. You'll see here. Sim too far in Ortiz at bats. He was walked earlier, then had an RBI single to left. It's 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th, what might be his last at bat of Game 1. Oh, high pitch right into the shift and ground ball out. So not much to see from Game 1 from Ortiz, but that's more my simulation issues. All right, big night for the Red Sox in Game 1. A 7-0 win in Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. A couple of big things for Ortiz that were off-screen, but the story of the night, apparently, Clay Buchholz's complete game shutout gets well over 100 pitches. Red Sox take Game 1. Ortiz is having a really good postseason now, up to 348, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, a hit in Game 1. First at-bat Game 2 against Marco Estrada, nobody on, 2 out. Rolled over. I had 3 rollovers in this whole inning. First inning, over. Next at-bat for Ortiz. Ortiz grounded out in the first. Still no score, bottom 4. Much different story so far from Game 1. But second at-bat against Estrada. Curveball. Curveball right into the shift. I have to stop hitting into the shift. Ortiz up bottom 7, 1-0 Red Sox in the 7th. tip the cap because David Price answered that pregame call, was awesome, keeping the game scoreless at this point. Now Ortiz up, trying to get some insurance back at Fenway in game 2. Ugh, swung over the top, strikeout. Red Sox are up 2-0 in this series. Don't have a ton to show of Ortiz so far, but there's been really good pitching. The Red Sox, back-to-back starts, 2 shutouts, 18 scoreless innings to start this series, so that's more the story, but up to Toronto to the Rogers Center for game 3. Similar to we've had with a lot of Ortiz. Nobody on, 2 out, first inning, game 3 up in Toronto. Still hitting over 300 in the playoffs, which has been great to see. Now facing Aaron Sanchez at Rogers Center. Got a curveball way underneath it. Routine fly ball right center, pretty shallow. End of the first. Back-to-back home runs at the setting for Jackie Bradley and Mookie Betts. 1 out for Ortiz. 4-0 Red Sox. This series is nuts. I totally blinked during that curveball. That feels like a weird excuse, but it was. Ground ball. Into the shift again. Feels like the story of the last few games with me hitting. Ortiz leading off top of the 6th. Same situation. 4-0. Ortiz, right center. Nobody's there. That'll get down. Should we try the double? No. No. We definitely won't. That's his leadoff single. So, a hit. Not a rollover into the shift. So, that's something different for what I've been doing. How about this Red Sox pitching staff? 27 scoreless innings in this series. This is ridiculous. Mr. Ortiz's last at-bat due to a simulation popped out to the catcher. But this Red Sox pitching staff is absolutely nuts. So, in what we thought was going to end in Game 5 in Cleveland, the Red Sox are now a game away from the World Series in 2016. Game 4, let's see if this closes out. First at-bat for Ortiz, only hitting 200 this series. Might get a little weird here, facing R.A. Dickey in Game 4. Knuckleball coming at you. Let's see how it goes. Whew. That's the thing about R.A. Dickey is it's so fast. Tapper back to the mound. So that big run of Red Sox starting pitching that's been unbelievable comes to an end here. Rick Porcello got hit hard early. It's 6-0 for Ortiz here in the 6th inning. Pedroia on first, nobody out, but facing an uphill battle in Game 4. Deep to left, getting going and gone. All right. So Ortiz home run in Game 4. First runs on the board for the Red Sox. 2-run homer off the knuckleball, goes the opposite way. So there's something positive in Game 4. We already saw how crazy this sim can get in Cleveland. Let's see where this game goes. All right, so the Red Sox aren't going to sweep this series. Toronto comes out, big explosion, 11-2 in Game 4. Ortiz goes 1 for 4, had that 2-run home run of R.A. Dickey. But Game 5, head to there now. Marcus Stroman back on the mound for Toronto Game 5. Ortiz had the big home run in Game 4. Well, big to get Boston on the board. But another closeout scenario in Toronto. Popped up a fastball. It's going to get out. Maybe it's crawling back. And Colabello hauls it in. All right, Ortiz up, top 4. Not much going offensively. Pedroia just had a single. Long set. Line drive. That's into the gap. That might have a chance to score Pedroia. We're going to be aggressive here, because why not? Probably shouldn't have sent him. Throw home. That's a good one. They got him. Yeah, they got him. Double for Ortiz. Tried to be aggressive. Couldn't score him. 1-1, 6th inning. Ortiz back up. Had the double last time. Couldn't get Pedroia in. But score still tied, but it's 1-1. Ortiz had that. It was a little in front of it. Shift ground out. After all this, 5 games in the ALCS, the Red Sox are going to the 2016 World Series. David Price was unbelievable in Game 5. Missed a couple Ortiz at-bats. He finishes 1 for 4 in this game with the double. But how about this? This is why we made this video. This is why we replayed the 2016 playoffs. Because in David Ortiz's finale season, the Red Sox are going back to the World Series. Well, isn't this just quite the storyline in the World Series? Red Sox against the Cubs, the real-life 2016 World Series champion with so many Red Sox connections up and down the board. Bunch of 2013 champions on the roster, Theo Epstein up at the front office, Red Sox, Cubs, one of the oldest groups of teams, oldest ballparks in baseball. We got so much to look forward to in Ortiz's World Series this time. Let's see how it goes.
Back now live as we count down to the start of Game 1. Let's join public address announcer Mike Carlucci.
David Ortiz, first at-bat of the World Series, hitting just under 300 in the postseason. Facing an old friend in John Lackey, Mookie Betts is on second. Early RBI chance. World Series Game 1, Fenway Park. Ortiz has already been here 3 times. Base hit right field. That's probably too shallow to push Mookie. Yeah, he would have been out by a mile. But Ortiz, single, gets something going in the first inning. Here's Ortiz again, bottom of the 7th, another tough game stimulation. And they're going to walk him here. He had a walk and a fly out earlier. So, yeah, that might be his last at bat in this game. We'll see. Red Sox win Game 1. Ortiz had the early hit. David Price continues to pitch outside of his mind in the postseason lately. Complete game shutout with 8 strikeouts in Game 1 against the Cubs. The Red Sox just do what they always do in the 21st century. Win Game 1 of the World Series at home at Fenway Park. All right, Ortiz back up to 300 after the hit last night against Kyle Hendricks. Game 2, runner on first.
That the number 2 guy couldn't at least move that leadoff man into scoring position, and that makes it a little tougher on the middle of the order to drive in that early run.
Ortiz towards the monster, going back and gone. Gets Kyle Hendricks another opposite field home run this postseason. First of the World Series. Back-to-back nights with a hit in the first inning of the World Series. Red Sox up 2-0. All right, Ortiz up. Good start. Had that home run back in the first inning. 2-1 Red Sox, bottom 3.
2-run homer his first time. He's looking for another one.
Ground ball right side. Another shift ground out. Probably we're due for one at this point.
0-2. He's smart enough to know guys are going to try and get him to chase. So
oh, got one in middle in. That is way out of here. Have a night, Ortiz again. 2 home runs in Game 2. 1 to left, 1 to right. Big run for the Red Sox there. Big solo shot. Keep this one going.
For David Ortiz.
Well, it seems to me like we've seen this before. His second home run of the ball game. And it would seem to me that he hit that one harder than he did the last one. So he's definitely
This one.
All right, Ortiz back up again, facing a lefty this time. Already 2 home runs on the night. How about a 3 home run game in the World Series? Let's do that.
takes a nosedive right at the end.
Is that going to get down? Oh, no. Thought the way this game was going might be a 3rd hit and just kind of buy one. Not there. What a scenario we have here. Ortiz already has 2 home runs. Craig Kimbrell blew a save in the top of the 9th. So now it's 9th inning, 2 down. Mookie Betts on first. Oh, we could be in for a fun finish in Game 2. Swing 3-0. If we get the, we called it. Here we go. Ball 4. They walked Ortiz. The Boston Red Sox, a walk-off win in Game 2 of the World Series in extra innings. How is this for a little bit of a storyline? Brock Holt, a walk-off single to score Hanley Ramirez. And the Red Sox, a 4-3 win. Huge night for Ortiz with 2 home runs. The Red Sox take a 2-0 series lead to Chicago as we go to Wrigley Field. All right, Ortiz hitting .318 in the postseason. 3 for 6, 2 home runs in the World Series. Takes it to Chicago, where he's off and running. Against this back 2016, so no DH yet. Against Jake Arrieta. Back up the middle, hits Arrieta. That's going to go right to Chris Bryant. No, Chris Bryant can't field it. Ricochet off Arrieta. Ortiz is going to be on. Hopefully the Red Sox can convert that into some runs. Well, Boston did not convert any runs in the first inning, so it's no score, 1 out in the 3rd. Ortiz back up against Arrieta. Oh, got a hanging curveball. Here's a sinker. Where is it? Line drive, base hit. Ortiz on twice. Try to go power swing on that, but still a hard hit ball. Ortiz looks good in this series. Can he get another World Series MVP? We'll see. So Big Papi's had a good night. 2 for 2. Red Sox trailing 2-1. 5th inning. Would be time for a big swing here from Big Papi. Having a great series. Got one. Center, right center. Is that going to get out? Off the wall. We're going to try for a double. He's going to be out by a mile unless Zobrist takes forever, which he does. 3 for 3 for Ortiz tonight, hitting the ball all over Wrigley Field, but the Red Sox have to take advantage. Huge spot for Ortiz, who has been red hot. 3 for 3 in this game. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Red Sox down 1, top 7. What a huge, huge spot. Nope. Ugh, he did trouble him, curveball. And I just struck out with Ortiz in a massive spot. Red Sox dropped Game 3, had the striker with Ortiz. Didn't really matter because the Cubs ended up scoring 4 runs over the next 2 frames anyways. Game 4 coming up. Red Sox still lead the World Series 2-1, but a big one in Chicago for Game 4. Alright, Ortiz coming up against another old friend in this series to start off Game 4. Dustin Pedroia just hit a home run off John Lester. Ortiz steps in, lefty-lefty matchup. Ortiz line drive, another base hit. So another good start for Ortiz in this game. Big Papi, the Red Sox win this series, probably looking at a second World Series MVP in 4 years. Wow. Alright, Ortiz up, had the single back in the first inning. Still 1-0 against Lester. Top of the 4th inning.
Lester gets the sign. First pitch on its way.
Curveball in. Another hit. He just continues to have hit after hit. This is getting to 2013 level. His numbers in the World Series are getting off the charts. 2 singles for Ortiz. He has been absolutely on fire. Still 1-0. Excuse me. It's getting 1 a.m. of recording time. First pitch misses for ball 1.
That man right there, only the 1 run allowed. How discouraging is that when you're pitching
fastball away, don't miss it.
Just not getting the support.
Another one. 3 for 3 for Ortiz. Literally cannot get out the last 2 games. This is getting ridiculous. Can David Ortiz go 4 for 4 in this game? Can Big Papi keep hitting? Still needs some insurance runs. Still only 1-0. Top of the 8th. John Lester was really good for the Cubs tonight too. Taps it back to the mound. All good things must come to an end. Just way too early on an off-speed pitch. Alright, the Red Sox are officially 1 win away from the 2016 World Series with David Ortiz, as hoped for this video, right in the thick of it. Another big night at the plate. Goes 3 for 4. Rick Porcello, a really good start. The Red Sox add insurance runs in the 9th. And now Boston is just 1 win away from closing out David Ortiz's finale in the most storybook way possible. Wrigley Field, Game 5, moving on. Ortiz is 9 for 15 in the series so far. Was unstoppable last game against John Lackey again, first inning, Game 5. 4-pitch walk to Ortiz. Really close miss, but on base once again to start Game 5. All right, David Ortiz might have some competition the last few nights. Pedroia, another home run. It's 3-0 Red Sox in the 3rd. And Ortiz has also seen 5 balls tonight. 7 straight balls to Ortiz tonight. Alright, if I get a fastball, I'm swinging. If it's the guess spot, it's not. After all that, after 7 straight balls, Ortiz finally gets a strike, 3-1.
This is the thing that's so impressive about this guy. He'll show you that good breaking ball, but then
outside again.
fastball up the ladder at 92.
Hasn't seen many pitches. He's only seen 1 strike through 2 at-bats. Alright, Ortiz is back up again. Had a single that we missed in there, but a couple of walks. He scored 2 runs. It's 6-4 Red Sox in the 7th. 9 outs to go for a World Series title. Can Ortiz help out? Got one. And, Rizzo scooped it. Good play at first. Alright, bottom of the 9th inning, 11-8. Ortiz had another RBI single we missed. Finally going to pitch a little bit in this one, because it's time to close out a World Series for the Red Sox. Got him. 0-2. Wasn't a strike, but he called it. Baez, strike 1. 0-2 to Baez. Red Sox 1 strike away from closing David Ortiz out with a 4th ring. Got him swinging. 11-8 the final in Game 5. In this reimagination of the 2016 postseason, the Boston Red Sox are World Series champions, and David Ortiz goes out with his 4th World Series ring with a massive postseason to remember. What a ride this has been on. Let's get a final look at David Ortiz's stats and what Big Papi did in his final October in this reimagined MLB world. Now, the one thing that MLB The Show did not tell us was who ended up winning World Series MVP. But with these numbers, it probably has to be Big Papi, right? The 2016 finale of David Ortiz was a memorable one in the regular season. Still hitting at the top of the sport, a lot of big moments, but as we know in real life, didn't end the way the Red Sox wanted to. In this reimagination through MLB The Show, Ortiz had another massive October to remember and retires with a 4th ring, as in this simulation, the Red Sox win in 5 games over the Chicago Cubs, who continue a curse of their own after the 2016 World Series. This has been a great journey to come along through, this little bit of reimagined baseball storytelling, building on what is one of the most remarkable endings to a career, and maybe the best finale all time for a baseball player in Major League Baseball with David Ortiz in 2016. It probably could be, but that's up for debate. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Tim Crowley. We'll see you back there next time.